ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरम् विष्णुम् शशिवर्णम् चतुर्भुजम् प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये यस्यद्वरदवक्त्राढ्या पारिषद्या परस्सतम् विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। With Bhagavan's grace, let us continue from where we left off yesterday. Trirupa Bhanga Purvakam Nityadasa Nityakanta Bhajanatmakam Va Premayeva Karyam Premayeva Karyam Premayeva Karyam. Then 67 Bhakta Ekantino Mukhyaha Bhakta Ekantino Mukhyaha. Now, Narada first initially talked about Bhakti, gave an example of Gopika's Bhakti as Parama Bhakti, and then he also now mentioned about sadhana, the various ways to attain that, and then he mentioned before our bhakti becomes ripe, a ripe fruit that tastes nectar itself, the types of bhaktis that we go through, the Triguna bhaktis, the Trikarana bhaktis, all those things we talked about. Now he mentions Mukhya Bhakti, Bhakta Ekantino Mukhyaha, Ekantino, single attention, single focus, no other thought, no other focus in their mind except Bhagavan, like Gopikas was. And that type of a bhakti is Mukhyaha. Those bhaktas are the important ones, Mukhyaha. And this is different from Gauna Bhakti, the Triguna Bhakti that we talked about. For bhaktas like Prahlada and Hanuman and Gopikas, and for bhaktas like that, there is really nothing else, or even Taraja, there is really nothing else other than Bhagavan. That bhakti, those bhaktas are the important ones. In Bhagavatam, it says, Na Parameshtyam, Na Mahendra Dishnyam, Na Sarva Bhaumam, Na Rasadi Patyam, Na Yoga Siddhihi Punar Bhavam, Va Mai Arpitat Mecha Ichchati Mat Vina Anyate. One who has surrendered, given away his mind to me completely, he does not desire the position of Brahma, the position of Indra, or a position of rulership over the whole world, or a position of the rulership of the other worlds. Then he also does not desire moksham. He does not desire anything other than me. That is what Bhagavatam says. That is what those bhakta ekantina, very important. So they are the important bhaktas. That is 67. Bhakta ekantino mukhyaha. Now, these bhaktas, because of them, what happens? How do they conduct themselves? How did the gopis behave? If we think about it, Narada gives a glimpse of that in Sutram 68. Kantha avarodha. romancha asrubihi parasparam lapamanaha pavayanti kulani pruthuvincha kantha avarodha romancha asrubihi parasparam lapamanaha pavayanti kulani pruthuvincha kantha avarodha romancha asrubihi parasparam lapamanaha kantha avarodha romancha asrubihi kantha avarodha. Kantha means neck, but here kantha avarodha means the words that come out of your mouth, they are emotion charged, highly emotional they are, so loving, and they are not able to, when your voice melts in love, how will it be? Kanta avarodha. Romancha asrubihi. There are tears flooding from their eyes, tears of bliss and happiness pouring down from their eyes. Then, parasparam, with each other, with one bhakta or to another bhakta, like the way Gopikas were, or Gopikas were talking to Vidura, parasparam lapamanaha, they will be talking only about Bhagavan. Their voice will be emotion charged, tears will be pouring down, and goose pimples, and if that's the only subject they talk, they have no other thought, no other subject, nothing. Lapamanaha, they will be singing the glories and the stories of Bhagavan only among themselves. By doing that, Kulani, the whole lineage, all the lineages, not only their lineage, but all the various different lineages in the world that people have taken birth in, Pruthavincha, the whole earth itself, Pruthavincha, and the Kulani, the lineage and the Pruthavim, they pavayanti, they make it sacred, they sanctify the whole lineage of humanity and sanctify the whole earth. Kanchi Paramacharya says, all the, there are so many people that are being born and born and born, right? It's a natural instinct that Bhagavan has given, this reproductive instinct. So people are produced, and many of them are produced, millions and millions are produced. We think, looking at the various news and what is happening around us, it's all misery and all that. No. So many people take birth because among the millions and millions who take birth, there will be at least one person who's a true bhakta, who's always with Bhagavan, and because of that person, the whole world will benefit. That's the reason that so many people are born, because for that one person, one soul, one true bhakta, somewhere he will be there. For him, for his sake, all the other people are born. That's what Kanchi Paramacharya says. And in Sutta Samhitai, it says, Kulam Pavitram Janani Krutartha Viswampara Punyavati Cha Tena Apara Satchit Sukha Sagare Sada Viliyate Yasya Manaha Pracharaha, whose mind is immersed always in bliss, Sachidananda bliss. That ocean, he is immersed and he's become one with it. He is dissolved in it. His lineage is sanctified. And, of course, his mother gets vimochanam, gets released from all the bondages she may have had. And Bhudevi, the whole Mother Earth, becomes highly sanctified. That is the power of a true bhakta. And that is what Narada says. Kanta avarodha romancha asrubihi parasparam lapamanaha Pavayanti Kulani Pruthuvincha. Sutra number 69. Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Sukharmi Kurvanti Karmani Sat Sastri Kurvanti Sastrani. Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Sukarmi Kurvanti Karmani Sat Sastri Kurvanti Sastrani. Tirthani Tirthi Kurvanti. Tirthani Tirthi Kurvanti. Tirthani. All the sacred places. We call them Kshetradanam, right? Tirtham does not only mean river. Okay? It means sacred bhumi, where if Rama has walked somewhere and Avatar Purusham has walked, or Rishis have done tapas, and so many beautiful, highly sanctified parts of the Mother Earth are there. They are called Tirthas. And all those sacred places, Tirthi Kurvanti, these bhaktas, they make them highly sanctified. How does a place become a tirtham? Because of a bhakta lived there. If Agastya did homam in one place, if you go to Madhya Pradesh or some place today, that place is highly sanctified, where Rama walked, where Vishwamitra did his yagam. You go to those places. Why even today? Right? Because of these various bhaktas who had come and gone. So Tirthani Tirthi Kurvanti. Karmani Sukarmi Kurvanti. The various activities and actions, they make them into satkarmas. See, simple, our opening prayer we say, Sumukhascha Ekadantascha. Who gave us that slokam? Think about it for a second. Right? And because we do that simple activity of saying a prayer, it becomes a satkarma. And the efficacy of that was explained by another great rishi to us, right? Kanchi Paramacharya explained that. So we are all following that. That activity we do, it is not just a saying a prayer, it's a satkarma. That karma becomes satkarma because of the devotion that is charged, that is present, present in that prayer. Right? So, karmani sukarmi kurvanti, these bhaktas. Sastrani sat sastri kurvanti. The various sastrangal are there. Because of the bhaktas, they make them sat sastra, means beneficial, most beneficial sastrangal. Because the bhaktas did that. If Kannappa Nayanar did something, Tirupanalvar did something, Tulasidas did something, Chaitanya did something, we go and do the same thing. So what happened? The thing that the commands and the practices, disciplines that they followed becomes even more sanctified for us to follow. It's all because of the bhaktas. That is, and these bhaktas are the ones who do kanta avarodha, romancha asrubhi parasparam lapamanaha. Those bhaktas, always singing the stories and glories of Bhagavan. In that process, completely immersed in it, dissolved in it, lose their identity. When the Gopikas spoke about it, even the trees cried, the rock shed tears. That's how it was. So Sutra number 70, Tanmayaha. That's all the Sutra is, Tanmayaha. They become Bhagavan himself. Mameva is what Bhagavan says in Mameva. When he talks about bhaktas, he uses the word Mameva. That means they become me. Is what? There are several places in Bhagavad Gita when Swami talks about this with so much pride. Pride is the wrong word. So much happiness. So much. It's like a mother welcoming the child back home. Yes, they are mine. They become me. They become one with me. Like very lovingly Bhagavan says. And I will share 2 or 3 of that with you. And you will see Bhagavan says this in several places. When he talks about devotion, bhakta, jnani, doesn't matter what word you use. They're all one and the same. And when you think of Bhagavan and become one with him, and Bhagavan is so happy and to welcome you home and merge in him. And he says, Manmana bhava madbhakto matyaji mam namaskuru mameva yishyasi yuktva evam atmanam matparayanaha in adhyayam number 934, the very last slokam. And he says, Manmana bhava, turn your mind to me. Mat bhakto, be devoted to me. Matyaji, sacrifice everything to me. Mam namaskuru, worship me ceaselessly, continuously, without slightest break. Then, mameva ishyasi, yuktva evam atmanam matparayanaha. Yuktva evam atmanam matparayanaha. Take me as your supreme goal and fix yourself on me. When you do this, mameva ishyasi, you will attain me. That is what Narada says. Then another thing, if you go to Adhyayam number 11, and even in 12 and several Adhyayams, Bhagavan talks about when he gives a teaching, all teachings are one and the same. It's not 700 slokams we have to worry about an Adhyayam and all that. No. Bhagavan's Varta, Bhagavan's word, Vak is Amritam. If he says one word, that itself is a teaching. So anywhere in Bhagavad Gita, you can go through, and you will find that if you follow what he is saying, and he will declare at the end, you will become me, Mameva. And another example, you go to the last slokam in Adhyayam number 11, for example, Mat karmakrit, mat paramo, mat bhaktaha, sangha varjitaha, nirvairaha, sarva bhuteshu, yaha, sa, mameti, Pandava, mameti. So, my dear Pandava, he who considers all actions as mine and who carries them out as my agent for my pleasure, who is completely devoted to me. Bhakta, see, bhakti is there, who is completely devoted to me. Mat bhaktaha, who is not attached to the results of action. Sangha varjitaha, Narada talked about it earlier, right? Sangha varjitaha, karma palatyaham. And nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu, who has no enmity towards anyone. Saha, he, mameva, he attains only me, he becomes only me. And then, one more example, I'll give you. In 1865. Manmana bhava, madbhakto, matyaji, mam namaskuru. Bhagavan repeats that. Then he says, mameva ishyasi. He repeats it again. But satyam te pratijane priyosi me. He says, you are very dear to me. I tell you the truth. You do this. Manmana bhava. Think of me. Madbhakto. Be devoted to me. Be experienced in your mind. Manmana bhava. Experience. Not just thinking also. Just experience in your mind. And mat bhakto, be devoted to me. Mat yaji, sacrifice everything to me. Mam namaskuru, worship me. Mameva ishyasi, then you will attain me. This is truth, I promise you. This is what Bhagavan says. You are very dear to me. That is what Narada is talking about. That bhakti, tanmayaha. With that bhakti, they merge, become one. See, it is nothing but selfless love, prema only. When yat bhavam tat bhavati, when you have the feeling of love, when you feel love, when you give love to someone, you feel love. At that moment, you become love itself. There is no difference. If you immerse yourself in the ocean of this prema, the prema sagaram that is present everywhere, within me and outside me, everywhere it is there. And if I immerse myself and dissolve in it, what happens? I become prema itself, which is what I really am. And that is what tanmayaha means. And 71. Modante pitaro nrityanti devataha sanatha cha iyam Bhuhu bhavati. Modante pitaro nirtyanti devataha sanatha cheyam bhur bhavati. Splitting into padangal. Modante pitaraha nirtyanti devataha sanatha cha iyam bhuhu bhavati. Pitaraha modante, all our ancestors, they are modante. It is not just only happy, they are blissful, very, very happy, extremely happy because of this bhakti. When you are devoted to God, Bhagavan, it is not just you alone. It is not only your mother alone. The whole world, the whole universe benefits from it. The whole universe becomes happy. And your ancestors, they become extremely happy. And Devataha Nurtyanti, they are the various devas, they dance in happiness, in bliss. Iyam, this Bhuhu cha, this Bhumi, Sanatha Bhavati, Sanatha Bhavati. Sanatha, Natha means husband, protector. So Sanatha Bhavati, the Bhumi becomes happy in having obtained a Nayakan, a protector, because bhakti, love for God, is beneficial in infinite ways, in infinite directions. Just one soul somewhere, as T.S. Balakrishna used to say in his Kada Kalakshebam, in my younger days I have heard him. He says somewhere in some Kugramam, some small village, in some remote corner of India, in a village, under a not even an electric light, under a candlelight kind of a thing, some old man is sitting there reciting Ramayanam for the benefit of the whole universe. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. With that attitude he is reading, doing the Parayanam. Even today there are people who do that. Because of that, we get our food, we get rains, because of the punyam that they do, the bhakti, the love for God that somewhere someone exhibiting. Because of that, we are all surviving. Please remember that. Modante pitaro nurtyanti devataha sanatha cha iyam bhur bhavati. Now, this bhakti, is it exclusive? When you look at the power of it, there is nothing that is more powerful. Don't ever make the mistake that kindness is weak. No, softness is weak. Don't ever make that mistake, because kindness born out of love is the strongest tool, strongest entity there is. There is nothing that is stronger than love. There is nothing that is stronger than kindness. And please remember that. But with that, when to have something that is as powerful as this, that gets you Sayudyam itself, and that removes all the desires and makes you not only jump into this ocean of prema, but become one with it, how powerful it can be. So is it an exclusive thing that happens only to a few people? What should be my qualification? Is there an entrance exam involved? Is there a visa involved? You think along those lines. Narada answers, Nasti teshu jati vidya kula rupa dhana kriyadi bhedaha. Beautiful. Please remember that. This is the truth. Okay, this is what is being said is the truth. Nasti teshu jati vidya kula rupa dhana kriyadi bhedaha. Nasti, no, it is not there. Teshu, among these bhaktas. What is not there? Bhedaha, the differences. What differences? Jati. Oh, what lineage were I born in? Were I born in the Brahminic Varnam, or Jati, or Kshatriya, or Vaisya, or Sudra? What kulam was I born in? And then Vidya, am I educated or am I illiterate? Kulam, the lineage that born in. Rupam, am I ugly, am I pretty, am I young, am I old? And do I have illnesses or without illnesses? So many things, right? Dhanam, Am I poor? Am I wealthy? Wealthy also in scholarship, wealthy in positions of society, powerful positions, so many things, everything included in dhanam. And kriya, what type of work I do? Am I a janitor, or am I a CEO, or am I a teacher, a policeman? The adi, like these, Vedaha, differences, na asti, it is not present. In other words, a bhakta, the only qualification to be a bhakta is bhakti. Love God for God's sake. Nothing else matters. The age does not matter. Whether you should start young, that is better. You are at the age of 60, 70, it really doesn't matter. It can happen just like that, a blink of an eye. Mind can turn to Bhagavan and hold on to Him. And no difference of any sort. You remember the story of Sabari that we shared in the beginning. And what does Rama say? The only connection I have with my bhaktas or only bhakti is my devotion is my only connection. I don't really look at anything else, their kulam or the rupam or dhanam or vidya, nothing I look at. They are irrelevant. In the court of Bhagavan, all the things are irrelevant. How much you achieve, how great a singer you are, none of these things matters. Your scholarship, lack of it, none of the thing matters. The service you do, nothing matters. The only thing is, do you love Bhagavan? Manmana bhava madbhakto matyaji mam namaskuru. That madbhakta, manmana, are you thinking of me with love? Do you really love me? You love so many things in life. So many things. Infinite things we love. But do you love Bhagavan? So that is the only qualification required. There is no other differences. And there are myriad examples we can give from our own itihasas, Ramayanam and Mahabharatam, and the Puranas, Bhagavatam and Vishnu Puranam and all the other Puranangal. Then we can go into our own history, whether Alvargal or Nayanmargal or the devotees from North India, even blind people, right? They were all great devotees, or a woman or a man. None of these things matters. Okay, please remember that. It's a very important clarification and an important statement of truth. So nobody need feel any diffidence in approaching Bhagavan. Bhagavan is equal to everyone, and he is at the same distance from everyone. No partiality, and he is as far away from you as you are away from him. He is as close to you as you are close to him. Nasti teshu jati vidya kula rupa dhana kriyadi bhedaha. One more, 73. Yataha tadiyaha. Yataha tadiyaha. Why there is no difference? All these things, we have so many differences in this world, caste difference, class difference, wealth, poor, color, so many things are there, right? The first thing we do is to differentiate. We don't integrate. First thing we do, look at the difference. What language you speak. So many things we differentiate ourselves. But here in Bhakta, there's no difference. No difference based upon religion, nothing. Bhakti is Bhakti. So when the statement says there are no differences, question comes, how come? Why there are no differences? He answers it here. Yataha tadiyaha. Yataha, why? Because, yataha means because, tadiyaha, they have become Bhagavan himself. So how can there be difference? Bhakta has become, there is no difference between Bhakta and Bhagavan. Doesn't matter which part of the world you are from, what language you speak, what religion you follow, irrelevant. A Bhakta becomes Bhagavan. When he becomes Bhagavan himself, how can there be differences among the Bhaktas? That's what Narada says very beautifully. And then we will share some teachings from Bhagavad Gita itself, where Bhagavan makes the same point. Okay, but that we will cover with Swami Kriya's tomorrow. So the sutra that we just did, 73, Yatas Tadiyaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.